Hi, it's Bill Hitchcock, and I am here to do the fifth step in our work with some databases. We're working with an NBA database, and I want to demonstrate how to create a number of different queries in this particular clip. So what I've got open is my NBA database, and look back in some of the previous clips and you can see how all this was created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Create and come up here to Query Design. And I realize this will be a little bit of overlap from what we have done before, but I just want to make sure that we kind of walk through these steps one at a time and make sure everybody's on board with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be working with the team table for some of these first couple queries. So I'm going to click on Team and choose Add, and then I'll close up the Show Table. And I'm going to stretch this a little bit larger so I can see what I've got here. And the first query that I want to set up is I just want to display everything, just like we had done for the divisions. So I'm going to click on this wildcard character, the asterisk. And if I double click on that and then run my query, you can see I basically get just a dump of everything that's in my team table. It's got every single field. It's got all the records. There's 30 records in here. And essentially what we're doing is we're just grabbing everything. That's what the wildcard does. Every field, every record, and it's got that. So let's go ahead. We'll save this one. So I'll close it, choose yes, I want to save it, and I'm going to call this one my team query 1 list all data. All right, so we've got one done. Next, we'll try another one. So we'll go back to Create. And again, I'm using Query Design rather than the Query Wizard. So I'll go to Query Design. I want to, again, grab the team table, add that, close this, stretch this so I can see all my fields. And this time what I'd like to do is I just want to get a subset of my data. I don't want every single field in it, I just want certain ones. So for example, maybe I want to have the team location, the name. Let's see, what else could I do with this? Maybe I guess the arena and the capacity. And we'll just pull that information in. So let's run it. And we have a fairly nice little query out of it. It doesn't have all the additional information like the year that they were founded. It doesn't have the abbreviation for each one of these teams and so on. So we've got that. Let's go back into the view and change this back to, sorry about that. If you click on view, there's datasheet view. That shows the results of your query. If you choose SQL view or SQL, depending on how you like it, it's structured query language. These are the commands that you might see in other database packages. If you're using MySQL or Oracle or IBM DB2, something like that, you can run some actual SQL commands to do this. But in Access, we don't even have to dig into the SQL too much. And then finally, I can choose the design view, so we're doing just kind of clicking and dragging on things to say what it is we want to do. So most likely, I'm going to also want to sort my data. So I just want to make sure that I've got this in ascending order by team location. And now let's try running this again. And those are all alphabetical. The only thing here is we've got Los Angeles, which has the couple teams. And we also have, we've got the New York Knicks, but Los Angeles is listed on the location here. We've got Lakers and then Clippers. So we might want to just reverse these two. So again, we'll go back to Design View, and we'll sort by a secondary key, the team name, and then run that. And now if I look down at the two Los Angeles teams, there's the Clippers come first, and then the Lakers come second after that. So that's my second query. Let's close this. Let's save it. And we'll call this Team Query 2. Sorted list of teams. Just something short and sweet. All right, the third thing that I want to demonstrate is how to pull together information from a few different tables. So on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Query Design, and I'm going to add in the conference, the division, and the team. And I'll close this up. And notice when I do that, it shows the relationship between each of these tables, just like it did in the Database Tools Edit Relationships window. So now I can choose from any three of these tables and include the information that I want. So for example, I'd like to have the conference name. I want to have the division name. I want to have the team location and the team name, and that's good. We'll start with that. Notice I could, it's like, well, do I want the division name here or do I want the team division? And we can see what happens when you click on some of those things and run your queries. So let's run this. And there I've got the Eastern Division teams. We've got the Western Division teams, but then I've got the Eastern ones and some Western ones and so on. And it looks like these records are not quite sure how we've got them sorted. Maybe it's by division. It looks as though it seems like it's sorting this all by the division name, and then within that, I'm just trying to see, it doesn't look like anything else is sorted. So let's go back into Design View, and let's sort this first by the conference, so that way I'll get Eastern and Western done. Then we'll sort by division in ascending, and finally by the team location. Oh, hang on, sorry, I clicked on the wrong spot. Team is fine. Right below it is where I want to go. I want to sort in ascending order by team location. And now if we run this, we've got all my Eastern teams grouped together, the Atlantic, the Central, and the Southeast divisions, and then within divisions, they're sorted alphabetically by the teams. So that one looks a little bit better. Again, it's combining data from lots of different tables, and that works out for us. So let's close this one up. We'll save it, and we'll call this our Team Query 3 list by conference and division. So finally, the last one that I want to demonstrate is how to filter out some of our records. Say we don't want to get all 30 all the time. We want to select out, something that we want to choose. So we can do this a couple ways. One is if I choose Create and go to Query Design, I can put in this time I'll do, let's see, let's do the division. And we'll add in the team. Close this up. I want to see the division name. Actually, let's do the division code. We'll do the division code. We'll display the division name as well. We'll do team name, team location, team name, and the arena that they play in. We'll run it, see what we get for results. Looks like I'm getting the right information. That's what I want there. So now if I go back to Design View, I'd probably go through here and sort by each of these. So if I sort by the division code, I don't need to sort by the division name as well because division code is unique. And then we'll do team location. And I know that none of the divisions have this. Well, let's see. Let's do team name too. All right, so we've got that. Now under the criteria, if you want to select a particular division, for example, I could type in CEN for the Central and run this. I get just the Central Division teams. And then Bulls, Cavaliers, Pistons, Pacers, and Bucks. Right, so they're sorted by the location, the city names there. but I don't want to have to create one for the Central, one for the Atlantic, one for each one of those divisions. I want to be able to just kind of run this same query and then I'll just type it in. So rather than hard coding in Central, what we'll do is we'll type in a bracket that says enter the division code. And now when I run this, it pops up a box that's called a dialog box, and it says enter a parameter value, and it puts in enter the division code, that prompt that I put in between the square brackets. So now I can type in ATL for the Atlantic, and I get the Atlantic. If I refresh my query, I can try PAC and get the other ocean, and we've got that, and it's popping up just right. The only bad thing is if you don't know what a division is. Say for instance I want to try the Northeast division, and I hit enter and it gives me nothing. But if I refresh it and try NW, that one happens to work because I lucked out, I guessed the right division code. If I refresh this and I don't know what to type in, I just hit enter. Again, it's searching for a blank division. It doesn't know what to do. So the way to fix that is if you change your criteria and in front of the prompt, put in the like operator. It says search for something that's like what you enter in. And then I'm going to hit my end key because I want to go to the end of that prompt, and I want to put in an ampersand, which is the join or concatenation operator, and I want to join that with a wildcard character. So I'll type in a shift in my quotes, type in shift in the asterisk above the number 8, and then another shift in quotes, they're double quotes if you will. So it's ampersand, quote, asterisk, quote. And that means join in a wildcard at the end of whatever they type in for the prompt. So now let's run this one more time. Enter the division code. I don't know what to enter here. Just hit enter, and I get a list of every single one of these records. You can see I've got all 30 records. That way I can kind of quickly look through, find out what the division codes are, and now let's try to run this again. I want to search for one that starts with the letter P. I get the Pacific. If I run it again, I want to type one in that starts with the letter S. I get both the Southeast and the Southwest. If I want to look only for the Southwest, I type in SW, and we can do that. So it makes it much more flexible to set up a query that way. All right, I'm going to close this one. Yes, I want to save it. We're going to call this one our team query 4 select teams by division. And we'll hit OK. And we're all done. So if you want to rename that one and call it your parameter query, that would be fine too. Include something like it. We don't really care about it. Users don't care that it's called a parameter query, but the designers like us, we know that these things are called parameter queries, and that's why we want to have that. So good luck setting up your queries. The final video that we're going to set up is we're going to be doing some reports and get you going with that.